from Bungoma, Gongwa, Mombasa, Vita. I'm going to talk about healing and cursing. We choose our own fate. Yes. Why talking about healing and cursing? In this world, from religious books, if I may talk of Christianity and I think Judaism, they should be having the same story. Adam and Eve had their first son called Cain or Cain, depending with where you come from. And Cain was a farmer. Later, he had another son called Abel. Abel kept animals, a pastoralist. And they went to give a sacrifice to God. Abel gave the best he had from the animals. Cain gave what he had. We're not told of whether it was the best or whatever, from the plants. God received Abel's offering and refused Cain's. Cain was enraged. He killed the brother. And God came to him and told him, Cain, Cain, where is your brother? And Cain said, am I my brother's keeper? Interesting. And God told him, the blood of your brother is crying from the soil. Take note of that. The blood of your brother is crying from the soil. Earth's response. He had shed blood. God hates bloodshed. And like Hammurabi, the lawmaker, where we learned it is Hammurabi, kinsman keeper. Hammurabi, kinsman keeper. When we do things that the secret, the rights to life, rights to opportunity for others, we have the same thing happening. The righteousness that has been oppressed cries from Mother Earth, Mother Nature. You have oppressed a fellow human being. Why am I talking about this? And I just talked about that in the finished video. I'm talking about the pretense we have worldwide. Talking of pretense, yes, pretense. Why pretense? Worldwide, we talk of discrimination and lack of discrimination. But what happens is, across the continents, across the world, we're used to racial discrimination. I'm going to start with that. A friend of mine, we were friends part-time, lives in Europe, some of the northern countries. And he was telling me of what happened when the European Union began. He was telling me we can move through Europe without passport, but your skin color will determine. When you are of this tone, you will be stopped at all checkpoints. But when you are of the other color tone, you can even go outside the European Union and you may not be asked anything. Same to America. I've had friends who have gone there. Some have had discrimination from people of different races. Surprising, some have had greater discrimination from people of the same skin color. Greater discrimination. But what is happening around the world? We have got government systems. We talk of unity. We talk of racism. I call it racialism. We call of racialism racism. That is the correct English word. But we call it racism because it's race and racialism. Racism. Racism is the correct word. What happens? There are places where people receive racist problems. You are a certain color, you have advantage. There are even some places where people of certain colors are not supposed to enter. We have classes and we have tribes. I want to approach this topic in this manner. There are some people within societies worldwide that are born to be suppressed. Why do I say born to be suppressed? You are from a certain cadre, a certain class. You are told everything is fair, no cadre. You go for the normal things that happen there in life. You may get the question, which race whispered? That race, no. Which nationality whispered? That nationality, no. And to nations, which tribe? And you are told, not that tribe. But what do they do? The same people who feel privileged racially, nationally, tribal, hide under that cover. You go there and people of a different race, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are put together in a place, and 1 or 2 of a different race are put somewhere else. You ask what's happening. You are taught qualifications, and you realize some of the people who are sent away have got better qualifications than those ones. The color qualified them. You come to countries. Which region do you come from? From that region, we don't deal with regions. We deal with our citizens. all of you, when you're doing that, you are told half the seats, half the vacancies belong to that region. An eighth of the remaining belong to that region. The others belong to that region. And these others belong to families that, are you getting it? So somebody with all the qualifications, everything, will keep chasing after those chances. But what is the answer when you go to the top? Everything was fairly done. Qualifications. So what happens? You find in some countries, certain races dominate in the workplaces. If they are government workplaces, certain races dominate. In some countries, certain given tribes dominate. And when you talk of others, they are told these ones are from those marginalized, you know. So the marginalized people do not qualify, even if they have the required qualifications. They don't. And when you bring their point across, you are met with this. You are bringing racialism. You are bringing tribal. That is the same cover. The same people who are practicing these things take. Why are people all black in this place? Now you are bringing racialism. You mean black people can? Okay. Why are white? Now that's racialism. But that is the cover they take. And countries have suffered because people practice whatever they preach against and use that as a cover to put themselves in there. It is continent-wide, country-wide, nationwide. You will get to a place you are told, how many black seats? These are the black seats. How many white seats? These are the white seats. How many Asiatic seats? So even if people from another place qualify, they are not put there. And the others who are suppressed completely, they never compete for these seats. If it's not there, take somebody least qualified, put him there. Then what happens to those areas? They remain marginalized. And that is the joy of these other groups. When they come from marginalized places, let that one take a break first. We see if we. That's what has been happening around the world. So are we our brother's keeper? Are we our brother's keeper? I thought in systems, in governments, in nations, where people have been marginalized, starting from Brazil, the States, Britain, Germany, wherever, Africa, the countries, Asia, there are people who are marginalized in the cover of not being marginalized. So they not get a chance because they say here is free competition. How do people compete when they don't have the resources that the others have? So what am I talking about in the world? There are places that you have to give unequal opportunities because they don't have even those people to bring up the others. All the resources, all the qualifications have gone to these other places. So how will they ever rise so that they not be marginalized anymore? You have to give them more chances. You have to give them the resources so that they are at par. And when one is doing that, one doesn't have to consider the racial basis, the national basis, the continental basis, the tribal basis. That is what is ailing the world. There are people who are never given opportunities. They work for the countries. They raise the revenue. They never enjoy. They are never considered. They are never even talked about. And when they come for the rights, the services, they are seen as a bother. Why are they asking? Because it will be very strange in a continent hearing those are the marginalized what? Races. A country. How can you have these people in these positions, in that positions? They are from the marginalized. How do you stop this marginalization? It's by giving those opportunities to those people too. In fact, sometimes there are people that we will even need to give more opportunities. There are few. They have been marginalized for long. Take a large number so that they also see the civilization that the other people have. Otherwise, where will that civilization come from? It does not create itself. And when the majority suppress the minority, some communities have died out completely. But how does the world do it? Competition. They didn't have the qualifications. So, wherever God is, He's asking us that tough question that He asked Cain, where is your brother? Where is that person from the mankind group, our species? Are you leaving him to regenerate into being an animal instead of a person? They don't have. We can go and look at them. Yeah, like you see things in the museum. Yes. Did you see them? Yes. How they live? How they? Why don't we give them equal opportunities also? So this is a call to the world. We are all human beings, given rights by God, equal rights. We all breathe. We are all born. I don't know those who come from, there are no machines that are in, can I say incubating or whatever, human beings. We are all conceived in the womb. We are born the normal way. We all lie flat on the bed. I've not heard of people who lie, who sleep when they're upright. And when we go to they call them washrooms, here we call them toilets. You cannot be able to sit with what comes from, you have to spray it, do whatever, flush, get out. So we are no special than any other person. We are all the same. All these things are the same. Why should we marginalize others and pretend that we are being fair? They don't matter. But when we talk about them, we want to rush there and send them packages. We call it AIDS. Hey, those people, the marginalized, why don't you get? No, give them an opportunity too. There are people like us. In fact, give them more chances than the people from the bigger places, so that you also raise them up, so that the society can be the same. That is the world society. Are you Hammurabi? Are you your kinsman keeper? Or are you those who pretend, I'm not racist, I'm not tribalist, I'm not nationalist? And you practice that. That is the cover for doing all those things you are mentioning. This is my call to the world. Be Hammurabi. Be your kinsman's keeper. Think about the unfortunate in the societies. Bring them up to your level. And God will be happy of what He created. Yes, you will be able to stand with a clean conscience, not demanding more and more on yourself, but also considering that others within those systems deserve equal opportunities. After all, you are all created by God. And the Bible says you are put different geographical positioning, different, it is his choice. He put you there. Don't oppress others. That is my call. That is what the word of God calls. That's what our conscience calls for us to do. Be Hammurabi. Be your kinsman's keeper. Be your brother's keeper. We can attract a curse or a healing to the nation. Like those who have read the Bible, Deuteronomy, it talks of the plagues of Egypt. When you defy God and suppress others, he will bring you the plagues of Egypt. And when you mind about your brother, he will remove the plagues of Egypt. So our actions can bring healing and cursing. We choose our own fate. Be Hammurabi. Be your kinsman's keeper. Be a keeper of people in your nation, people in your continents, people in your countries. We are all human beings. We do things the same way. God bless you as you think of being Hammurabi, kinsman's keeper. That's my take for now.